welcome back and welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. But happy Bookmas day 6. I believe we're already halfway through Bookmas at this point. Crazy. But in today's video, our second little episode, second version of DBC Bookmarks, choose my reads for a week. I loved filming this last time. I had the best time. So obviously we're going to do it again. I'm going to take, once again, the bookmarks that have tassels out. I'll be able to tell what they are, but we have a pretty good selection of bookmarks. So once again, just to talk through what it is, so DBC is a small business called Dunblon Club, run by the lovely Chloe. She does bookish merch, like she has collections, she has anything bookish you want. She's got stickers, she's got jumpers, she's got bookmarks, book baskets, scrunchies, like literally everything. She's amazing. She is just opening up a mail club in January, so if you want to check that out, I'll link her website in the description. But literally the jumper I'm wearing, this is from her licensed collection with Laura. Obviously all these bookmarks. I thought, why not do another DBC bookmarks choose my reads, because I had the best time filming it last time. So why not do one for Bookmas? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the same as last time. We're going to choose one bookmark, choose the book, choose another bookmark, choose a book, choose another bookmark, choose a book, and then I'll read them in whatever order I fancy. So you guys will know at the start of this video what books I'm going to be reading. We have a good stack, a good chunk of bookmarks here. This isn't even all of them. I do have some in books. Let's fan them out. Let's give them a shuffle and let's choose our first DBC bookmark, and then obviously we'll choose a book. My only thing is I try and choose a book that's on my physical DBR, as well as also the bookmarks that I choose. Obviously some of them have names, like for instance this one's like vampire, like mystic and mermaid, but I'm either going to do a book that matches what the bookmark's called, or I'm going to do a book that matches like the colour / vibe of the bookmark. I think it's my plan. So enough of me yapping, let's choose our first bookmark. I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to randomly pick, and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so let's choose our first bookmark. Okay, let's just re-thing them. Okay. This one. Okay, so we got the Mystic bookmark. Okay, this one will probably end up maybe doing colour. Ooh, okay. So we could do like colour. This is like gems, like potion bottle. This gives like more like, there is a witchy bookmark, but this gives like witchy vibes. I have one in my brain that might work, which does more like the colour vibe than like what's it actually on it. We have Every Spiral of Fate by Tara Maffey. This is the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. I absolutely loved the first 3, and I think these match pretty well if you ask me. And like this is like a magic-y element, this is obviously like got magic-y stuff on it. They're literally both the same like turquoisey colour. I think for our Mystic bookmark we're going to go for Every Spiral of Fate by Tara Maffey and read the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. This is the Waterstones edition. Look how pretty those sprayed edges are, and not just that, it is signed. So book number 1 and bookmark number 1, bookmark number 2 and book 2. Okay, I'm going to shuffle them again. Let's go for maybe this one. Okay, so we have the Garridon bookmark, which is literally matchy or what? This is one of the realms in the Lost Kingdom saga. So we need like a green book with like trees. We need a green book pretty much. This one might be a bit difficult. I have one in mind that we could do, but it's like a special edition of the book. We could do Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, because I feel like they do go like somewhat well. Like obviously they both have like the green, but they both have like, the bookmark has like crowns on, and then like this is like yellowy on. So I feel like they do go quite well. Don't know if I have any other like green books. I mean, we have like Fallen Stars. This is like a mermaid on. So like I'm kind of like, if I get the mermaid one, then we could read this. This is the like the normal cover. So like if I did the normal cover it doesn't match, but the Fairy edition it does match. Yeah. I think let's go with Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. So this is her adult fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's more of like a mystery than a fantasy. I don't know too much. I think it starts with like an old movie theatre, and then this looks to be like a hotel. Like I said, I don't know too much, but I do want to read this book. So let's go with this, and we're going to go with the Fairy edition, even though I'll probably end up just reading the normal edition rather than this one. Alchemy Secrets is book 2 with our Garridon bookmark. Okay, let's choose bookmark number 3. I mean, Alchemy Secrets is on my December TBR and my 10 books before the end. So I mean, that's a pretty good one to get, to be honest. Our third bookmark. This one. Okay, we got the autumn bookmark. A very, very cute bookmark, and I think this is actually my first ever DVC bookmark that I did get. So we need a book that either gives autumnal vibes or is like orange. Let's have a look what we have. I don't think I can make any of the books on my TBR work for this. We could do Acclaiming of Souls. Again, I don't think they go very well. In my head, like autumn, I could choose like a fantasy, I could choose a romance, I could choose a mystery. I really could choose anything. I'm just trying to choose something that would kind of work most well with that bookmark. I mean, I do have Brimstone, which I mean does work quite well. And I've been wanting to read that. We also have like Diabound, which I think works, but this is quite thick and I don't think I'm ready for this commitment. We have Somewhere Beyond the Sea. That works. I'm in the mood for that. Right now we're going with Brimstone. Let me see what we have on the TBR cart though. I found 3 other options that we could potentially do. We could do Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. This is a cozy fantasy, but this very much cover does give autumnal vibe, and I feel like they go quite well together. Could do The Second Death of Locke, which I really want to get to, so I feel like they go quite well. Or we could do The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young, which I feel like this probably goes the most with the bookmark. But obviously we want to also go with like what I want to read. Honestly, I'm between The Unmaking of June Farrow, Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and Brimstone. The Unmaking of June Farrow has been on my TBR since like April, and this has been on my TBR since like last year. Am I going to be for a cozy fantasy or like a more of a literary fiction? I honestly kind of want to go for Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. This has just been on my TBR for so long. I kind of want to see how I feel. And I think I can maybe get the audiobook of this, and I think this would be a fun audiobook that I could do. So for our autumnal bookmark, we're going to go with Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. Let's go through the 3 books that we are going to be reading in this video. With our Garridon bookmark, we're going to be reading Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. With our Mystic bookmark, we're going to be reading Every Spiral of Fate by Tahira Mafi. And finally, with our autumnal bookmark, we're going to be reading Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. Honestly, I'm excited for all 3 of these. This is like starting a new series, but I've not done a cozy fantasy, I don't think really, in a while, so this could be fun. We are gonna continue a series off, and I think then there's only 1 book left in the series, but we're gonna continue a series. We're also gonna read a highly anticipated release by one of my favourite authors of a new adult series. What do we want to start with? That is the question. I'm gonna start off with Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, because I feel like I have the time that I can like get into this, and I'm very intrigued to read this, and I feel like if I put it off any longer I'm just never gonna get around to it. So we're gonna start off by reading Alchemy Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Let's go. So obviously we ended up picking Alchemy of Secrets to read. So I am now on page 82, which is chapter 11. I've just been listening to it. I'm really enjoying the audiobook, to be honest with you. Obviously this book is marketed as a fantasy, an adult fantasy, and I definitely get what people are saying when they're like, it's more of like a mystery, less fantasy, because it's like the mystery is fantasy, but it's more of a mystery book than a fantasy book. I'm enjoying it so far. It's not my like favourite. I'm enjoying finding out a little bit more. So basically in this book we are following Holland, and there's this story called The Watchman, and if you find out who he is, he will call you and he'll tell you what time you're gonna die. She ends up finding it with this guy that she's on a date with, and then he gets a call from the Watchman basically saying you're gonna die at this time. He ends up dying at this time, and she's like, oh my god, maybe this is real. She right now is in a car with someone her sister knows, but she has been told that she is going to die 1 minute to midnight on Halloween, which is like tomorrow. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm very intrigued to see where we're going to keep going, how the story is going to expand, or where we're going to go with this. But yeah, I'm now on page 82, which is chapter 11. So I've been listening to the audiobook, like I said. So I have 3 hours and 13 minutes of the audiobook. I'm currently on 2.3 speed. Normally I work my way up to like 2.75. So we'll kind of see. We currently have 3 hours and 13 minutes left, and I still have quite a bit that I'm gonna do while listening to my audiobook. Let's see if maybe we can finish this book today. I think that would be fun. Hello everyone. So I have a reading update. I ended up finishing off Alchemy Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I have mixed feelings on this one. I was very, very, very excited for this book going into it. I mean, I love Stephanie Garber. I've read the Caraval series, I've read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I love them. But this, I didn't love. I thought it was good, but it wasn't anything amazing, personally. I know I've spoke about what this book entails. I'm pretty sure I did. I feel like I didn't connect with our main character Holland, and the romance didn't feel romancy. It didn't have a connection. I didn't feel it. I didn't love the plot, to be honest. Like, that was the part that kept me going, but it wasn't like I was like super invested in the plot either. It just all felt a bit meh. Honestly, this book, I feel like how it ended, it could be a standalone. I mean, there are some unanswered questions that I do have surrounding the story. I feel like this could have been a standalone and I would have been fine with it, but I know there's a book 2. I don't think I'm going to be rushing to pick up book 2. It just, yeah. I'm really annoyed. Not annoyed. I'm upset that I didn't love it as much as I know a lot of people loved this. And I mean, I did like read it in like 24 hours. Maybe like 30 hours, maybe, let's say. I wasn't obsessed with it. I don't really have any other thoughts or feelings towards it. I ended on like a 3-star. If I'm being honest with myself, it's probably a bit more like a 2.75, but I was like, I'll round it up to a 3. I didn't love it, but I did not like it. I thought it was a good book. I was waiting for it to give me more, and it didn't give me more. Now I'm going to be starting Every Spirit of Fate by Tara Maffey, another one of my favourite authors. Also, this is the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series, so I will not be telling you a whole lot about this book because the book has, in the series, obviously the world and things have evolved a lot from book 1 to now. We are following on directly from the events of book 3. This Woven Kingdom follows a girl called Eliza who is like a servant. It's very much giving like a bit of like a Cinderella retelling kind of thing, and she ends up basically kind of falling for a prince. It kind of goes from there. There is a race of people there is a race of people basically that have magic called Jinn, and she believes she's the lost Jinn heir. I'm trying to remember like what happens in like on the back of book 1 without spoiling the rest of the series. But yeah, we kind of follow her on this journey, and basically everything goes completely different. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to start this book, and I will be starting it probably this morning. Our next book we're going to read is Every Spirit of Fate by Tara Maffey. So I have a quite significant reading update. So I'm now on page 287 of Every Spiral of Fate. I don't really have many things to say. Literally since this book started, I think maybe it's not even been like 2 weeks, like time wise. It's maybe been 2 weeks, which I feel like I felt quite similar about the other ones when I read them, but it's definitely been me trying to get back into this book and this world. I think I read the first 3 books. I read the first 3 books like within a week, binged them in like days. End of September. So yeah, I've literally read the series like over a year and like 3 months ago. So it's definitely been me trying to get back into it, and like especially with how book 3 in the series, which was the book before this, I think is my least favourite, but it's definitely one of those series that I was like, oh, I'm going to reread them all before I read book 4, and I just didn't get around to rereading all of them. I didn't get around to even rereading them point blank because there's just a lot of things that I don't remember from book 3 in particular, which I remember book 1 and book 2 quite well, but book 3 is a bit blurry. I think that's probably because of how quick I read them in like hours. But so I'm now obviously been trying to get back into the world, the plot, the story, the characters and everything. I've binged most of this today, to be completely honest with you. I think I was on about maybe page like 30 or 40 this morning. I feel like Tara Maffey's writing for me is so easy to read, so bingeable. I feel like I always will binge her books. I feel they're so easy to understand and digest. It doesn't feel like I've read this much, but I have read like so much, and honestly I'm going to try and finish it off today. But I am enjoying this. Not issues, but thoughts like with the other ones is like at the point that I am at, this like this is like 2 weeks. It kind of feels like we have like maybe like over like 150 pages of one day, and then it's like, and then over the next 4 days, and it kind of like say roughly what's gonna happen, but not like nothing's really happened in like a chapter. And then it's been like, I feel like a lot of it is we're in the same day for a lot of the thing. I don't know. Enjoying it. I'm enjoying getting back into our characters and the world. I think definitely before book 5, which I think is the final book in this series, I will have to reread all 4 just so I can like fully enjoy it, because literally the whole time I'm like, wait, what? Who are these people? What's going on again? I'm starting to get the gist of what's happening now. Okay, so reading update time. So I ended up finishing Every Spiral of Fate by Tara Maffey last night. Obviously with this book we chose the Mystic bookmark, but by the end of it I was like, okay, I'm back in the world, loving the characters. And honestly the only reason I think it took me so long is because it has been so long since I read the other books in the series. By the halfway, maybe like the 300 page mark, so I had about 150 pages left, I finally was like, okay, it's clicking. I remember everything that happened. I remember the characters, I remember everything, and I could just kind of enjoy the story. And I ended up really enjoying the story. I ended up on a 4-star rating for this. Obviously I don't want to say too much because it is the 4th book in a series, which I think is going to be 5 books, but yeah, I did end up honestly really enjoying this. I'm very happy that I read it. I know I said that I was going to read Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne next. However, I have tried to start this 50 pages in, and it's not a DNF, it's a I'm not in a mood for a cozy fantasy right now, and this is just epitome of a cozy fantasy that I'm just really, I don't want to disservice this book and disservice my view of this book because I'm not in the mood for it. So I've decided to change it up, and I'm gonna read, still a book that matches the bookmark, but I'm gonna read Dead Fine by Emma Smith. I'm pretty sure this is like a thriller mystery vibe. I really wanted to read this, and I think I'll read it really quickly and really enjoy it. So in this book we are following Liz and Owen have been together, but one day in the summer Liz gets a phone call from Owen saying that he needs help hiding a dead body that is in his bathtub, and she'll literally do anything for him, even covering up murder. As summer continues in a haze of guilt and manipulation, her trust in her boyfriend is tested. She might have grown up with him, but does she really know him? Very, very intrigued by this book, and I think there's like mixed media in here and everything like that, and I think I'm going to really enjoy this. So I'm decided to switch our reads, and we're going to switch from this to this. I feel like the covers are very different but very same colour palette, so we are going to switch. I'm very, very excited. So let's start Dead Fine by Emma Smith. Okay, ignore the lighting, but I wanted to give an update before I probably sit and honestly read it. I've read literally the first like half of this book in one sitting. It's so addictive. I'm really enjoying it. I'm very intrigued to see how we go, and the relationship main characters is obviously evolving. So we start this book with the police knocking at her door going, "We found a body in the woods. We don't know whose body it is, but your old school jumper, which had her name in, is wrapped around the body," basically. We find this out literally the first part of the book, and then she goes, "I didn't kill her. I know who it is. I can tell you who it is, and I can tell you who killed her." And she goes, "It's Judy whatever, it's Owen's mum." And they're like, "Who's Owen? Like, who's this?" She's like, "Oh, my boyfriend." So we obviously know, like I was saying from the back of the book, there's a dead body in his bath, and he asks her to help hide the body. Now we are going back from literally, I think, the night before the murder, and then all the days leading up to when the police knock on her door, and how their relationship is changing. And let's just say the boyfriend is getting a very thing, like he's cheated on her. She's like, "Well, we're in this together, but like you need to not kiss other girls, like that really hurt." He basically turns around and is like, "Yeah, but you can't really leave me." Basically, it says here, "Owen nodded and then he looked at me dark eyed, stone cold, and I swear in that moment I didn't know him at all." Do you really have a choice, Liza? Well, Liz. Lils? Her name's Lily. So I'd say Lils. Yeah, so I'm now on page 139, so I'm about halfway. I think it's about 280. It is time for the final wrap up, the final thoughts. I have sat on these books, some longer than others, but let's talk about the 3 books that we ended up reading in this video for DBC Bookmarks Choose My Reads. So I will go through them in order. First of all, we obviously picked the Garden bookmark, and for this we picked Alchemy Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Unfortunately, this is the lowest rated book that I read this week, which is so sad because generally I thought this book was gonna be one of my favourites. It still didn't feel like adult, like I didn't think it felt adult. I feel like it felt older. I don't know whether adult fantasy is the right word for this, because it felt more like a mystery book than a fantasy book, but it had fantasy elements. I don't know, but I've ended up on like a 3.5, 3.75 rating on this. Did I enjoy this? Yes. Do I think I'd reread it? No. I was very, very excited about this one, and I wouldn't say it disappointed me. I think because I love Stephanie Garber, my expectation of it was a lot higher. Probably should have gone into it with a lower expectation, because it's obviously, I knew going in it was going to be so different from like Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart. I probably should have adjusted my expectations. I still enjoyed this. I'd still recommend it. I still had a good time. I don't think it's ever going to be a book that sticks with me. And then we chose our Mystic bookmark. And for this book, I chose Every Spiral of Fate by Tara Maffey. I loved this book. I gave this book a 4-star. This book is the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. I loved book 1 and book 2. Book 3 for me did fall a bit flat, and that has ended up meaning that I didn't remember a lot of what happened in book 3, so it took me quite a while to get back into this book, because obviously this is book 4 in the series. It's also been over a year since I read the first 3 books in the series. It did take me a little bit longer than I thought it would to get back into this series and this world and our characters, but by the time that we were coming to like the last 150 pages, I was back in the world, back with the characters, I remembered everything had like come back to me at that point. I was like, okay, yeah. So I ended up having a really nice time with this. Definitely the last like 100 pages I loved. I cannot wait for book 5. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm hoping it comes out in 2026. But I definitely would recommend this series if you want a young adult fantasy. If you're maybe looking to try and get into fantasy, I also would recommend this series, because I feel like it doesn't put you just like all in. You kind of learn as you go, which I really like. So Aristocrat Fate 4 stars. Autumn bookmark. We did obviously originally choose Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, but I ended up changing it last night to Dead Fine by Emma Smith, and I'm so happy that I changed it, because I just was not in the mood for a cozy fantasy. I felt like I needed something that was going to keep me on the edge of my seat, I could binge, I was going to have a great time with, and this was exactly that. I have ended up on like a 3.5 3-star rating for this. I had such a good time. This is a mystery, and in this book we are following Liz and Owen, and we are following them, and they are boyfriend and girlfriend, but one day she gets a call and he's like, I need you to help me, like there's someone dead in my bathtub, I need you to help me hide the body. And we find out that literally the first chapter we know what's happened, we know from the back of what's happened, and we know first chapter, and then we are following from the event that this person is found in the bathtub. 3 months later, when the police show up at the door, we see the difference in their relationship over those 3 months, how they almost manipulate each other and everything like that, and it was just so good. I definitely would recommend 100%, and I'm now a lot more excited to read her other book that I do own and give that a go. But yeah, this is Dead Fine. I think this is, it says book 1 in the Dead Girls trilogy, so I guess there's more, which I didn't know. Maybe I'd have to pick that up. But yeah, I had a really nice time. This was a 3.5. Seriously, I definitely would recommend this if you want like a mystery. That I literally binged this in a couple of hours last night, and I had the best time. So take that as you will. I'm not going to bed until I finish this book. That was how good it was. They are the 3 books that we ended up reading in this video, as well as the 3 bookmarks that we chose to read these books. I had a really good time filming this. I think it's so fun, like why not match your bookmark to your read? I feel like we all subconsciously do it anyway, so why not pick the book based on the bookmark? I think it's so much fun. And once again, all my bookmarks are from DBC Dunbarn Club, run by the lovely Chloe. I will link Dunbarn Club down below. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Bye.